So, you want to be a surgical technologist. Well, you've come to the right place. Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. So, today I'm going to be talking about something kind of interesting, something that doesn't relate to everyone, but those who are thinking about or want to become a surgical technologist. So let's get right on into that. So first things first, before I even get started into detail about this career, let me say this very loud and very clearly. We are not nurses. We're not nurses, y'all. Everybody seems to think that a surgical tech, or as other people like to call it sometimes a scrub, are nurses. We are not nurses. It is two completely different situations. Scrub techs, surgical technologists, whatever you want to call them, we work in surgery. We work with sterilization. We keep the operating room sterile. That is our number one job. It is to pass instruments during the operation to the surgeon so he does not have to look up from his field, thus disrupting his procedure. We are there to help the procedure move smoothly, eloquently, easily for the doctor, so the person has a higher potential of a successful surgery. Nurses are patient care. They tend to patients. They help with patient needs most of the time. Scrubs can do that, but we're not really supposed to. We're supposed to strictly be surgery-related people. We stock the operating rooms. We stock all the extra rooms around where you get all the surgery supplies. We put gowns and gloves on the surgeons and residents and medical students as they come into the operating room before they perform the surgery. And as they perform the surgery, we protect the sterile field, which is the patient being operated on. We protect everything, all the instruments, everything that needs to maintain sterility so it doesn't contaminate, thus harming the patient. It's interesting, it's different, it's not for everyone. Let me just tell you that. If you're sensitive, this is not a career for you. If you are sensitive and you're not good with taking criticism, if you can't handle someone saying, hey, I don't think you're doing this right, you need to be doing it this way, and you're all like, wow, how dare you, like crying. No, honey, like you need to, don't even think of looking in the direction of becoming a surgical tech because it's not gonna work out for you. My experience, I went to school for a year. I went to a tech school here in Missouri, and I graduated in July of 2018, and I started at a women's and children's hospital here in Missouri, and I worked for a few months as a labor and delivery surgical technologist. Now, that was my dream whenever I graduated. I didn't want to be any kind of scrub tech. You can pick different specialties. You can work on ENT, ear, nose, and throat. You can do vascular, you can do hearts, you can do neuro, brain, there's all sorts of things. I mean, usually when you find your specialty that you love the most likely, you'll be placed there, especially if you excel in those. Mine personally was labor and delivery. I love seeing the outcome of a child being brought into the world, the happiness of the mother, the father, whoever, crying, the happiness, the love. That was my favorite part. And so I worked in that for a while. Is it for me to do for the rest of my life? Absolutely not, which is why I don't do it anymore. It was something that I may go back to in the future. I've got that certification under my belt, but for now, it's personally, for me, this is not something I'd want to do for the rest of my life. And I will say, disclaimer, everything I am saying about this career is strictly my experience, my opinion. It may be different from each person. It varies person to person, each experience, each location that you're in. Not every experience is going to be the same about anything in life. So basically, you're the surgeon's assistant. You're helping him out in a situation where pressure is at an all-time high. So I will say to you, going back to the whole you cannot be sensitive thing, sometimes, I hate to say it like this, but sometimes you're going to be that surgeon's punching bag. Sometimes that surgeon is going to come in after a really hard day, super stressed out, not wanting to do this surgery, okay? Like that's his or her job, surgery, and they're going to be stressed out. And if one minor thing goes wrong, it's your fault or you're not prepared, and you can be seriously reprimanded. And it's not always cool. It's not always fun. For me personally, like, I had a ton of anxiety throughout the entire process of going through school, throughout getting a job. You never knew what personalities you were going to be dealing with each day. I personally love patient care. I love talking to the patient. So that's something I really didn't like about surgical technology. Once you operate on the patient, they're gone. Like, you don't really know what happens to them. You don't know if they really make it or anything unless you continue to talk with your coworkers about how that patient was. You have to keep up with them on your own time. You don't really know what happens afterwards. I am super empathetic, sympathetic. I really enjoy patient care. I love customer service. I love entertainment. I love creativity. Like, my brain, the way I work, did not really coincide with surgical technology as a long-term career. Just because of my personality and how I am, it fit really well with me because I love people. I love to help people. I love to do something that betters for the betterment of humanity. I went to tech school because I was in a point in time in my life where I didn't really know what to do. Like, I didn't really know where to go in college or what I wanted to study or what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go. So I thought, let me go to tech school. Let me become a surgical technologist. Like, someone in my family had done it prior. And I called her about, getting some advice on it. And the first thing she said to me when she got on the phone, mind you, she had done this for over 30 years. The first thing she said was, "You can't be sensitive for it." And I was like, all right. You can't, because she's not kidding. You really can't. It's a high pressure, serious situation. And I guess because of that, there are certain personalities that have to do this kind of job. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of sometimes negative energy. Whenever I worked in this field, I found that it's full of gossip and a lot of drama. There's a lot of, oh my gosh, she did this way, he did this way, blah, 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 blah. I can't believe they're doing this. And then as soon as the coworker would approach, everything would be hunky-dory, like, oh, hi, it's so good to see you, blah, 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 blah. Like, it was really hard to tell who actually liked each other, if that makes sense. Like, it wasn't really an environment personally for me. And maybe, like I said, that's because it's really high pressure. It's exhausting. There's a lot that goes into that, so it's really hard to be positive all the time. You're saving lives. You're doing things for the betterment of humanity. So it's easy to get caught up in things that are trivial when you're, so stressed out. I did actually bring a few things that I had from the hospital before I stopped working there that I wanted to show you guys that you might be working with when you go to the hospital or whatever hospital you go to. Lindsay. So you'll be working with gloves. You gown and glove surgeons, doctors, when they come in, you open the gloves, they stick their hand in. It's like the whole Grey's Anatomy process, the whole gowns and gloves. Like, this is what's called an underglove. It's this blue glove just like this, and it helps, it's like super slippery, this material, so it helps slip into another glove because you're supposed to be double gloving. And I brought this neat, nifty little gown. It's what's here. Like, whenever I don't know if you guys can see me or not, but whenever the surgeon comes in, you just open it up for them and then they put it on. I'll demonstrate for you guys what it looks like. Obviously, you would not put it on like this. There's like a whole way that you have to do it, and it looks a lot like this. And they'd put their gloves on and you tie it up in the back and tie this little thing in the back and you're good to go. And when you're in school, you're gonna learn about anatomy, physiology, microbiology, patient care, medical terminology. You're gonna learn all of these things. And for me, one of the best parts about this whole process was there is no math. No math, guys. You don't have to do math. I hate math. That is like my number one thing. I have sucked at it my entire life. But if you go into surgical technology, there is no math. So that's super awesome. You're just gonna learn about a lot of the other things that I said earlier. You're gonna learn all about how to maintain sterility, like when I showed you those gloves and this gown over here, like this whole thing. You're gonna have to learn how to put that on sterilely without contaminating anything. Like, for instance, this is a silly fun fact. You can't put your hands anywhere above your shoulders, and you can't touch anywhere below your navel because that's considered contamination. There's so much that goes into this career. It's insane. It's stuff that you have never thought about, you would have never thought about, but it's so important. It is is so, so, so important. It's a super important career. I'm not knocking it at all. It just personally was not for me. It's just super high pressure, which I'm okay with pressure, but at the same time, it can be a lot of negative energy. And if your energy just can't level with that, then it's probably just not for you. It can be a beautiful thing. It helps people. It's not easy, but it's an easy route if you're not into college, if you're not into going for 4 years, you don't know what you're doing with your life, or you don't know what you're passionate about. At least you can be passionate about helping someone else. That's kind of what I thought. So I did it for a year. I've got it under my belt. If I want to go back and, search for a hospital to work at in the future, I could probably do so. But for now, I'm just pursuing other options and trying to think of something that's more fitting for me and my personality. Thank you for watching my YouTube video today. I hope it was helpful for you. I honestly just rambled the whole time. I don't really plan out my videos like word for word. I just kind of like say what I think. If you want me to do a video about the education process, like what it was like for me in school, or like more in depth on that, or what it was more like in depth at my job or something like that, then please, Lindsay, stop. Please comment, message me, whatever you gotta do. I would love to do more videos that are helpful for you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you guys have a great day, evening, or night. Bye.